Hello there, I'm creating this video in order to show people my black and white shader that I created for Unreal Engine 5. So I'm going to be putting this up on the Fab Marketplace for just a few dollars. The link will be in the description there. But I really want to create this video in order to show people just what it looks like so you can see if it interests you or not, if you could use it for your game. So the purpose of this shader is to make it so by default, everything here is going to be black and white once you apply the shader, and I'll show you how to do that in the second part of the video. But in this first part here, so I'll show what it looks like. And when you apply it, everything's going to be black and white by default. However, you can select individual items. For example, I selected these red leaves that are falling, and I chose to apply color to those and give them full color strength. So everything else will stay black and white except for the specific items that you choose. So how that works, just to show you here, we'll type in leaves. We'll select those, and we are going to scroll down here under the rendering section and details of those leaves. We're going to make sure that render custom depth pass is checked, and if we go ahead and set that to the default of 0, you'll see here that they are black and white and desaturated just like everything else. So if you want your project to just be full black and white, you don't want any color at all, this will work perfectly for that. That's what it'll be by default. However, if you want to add color to objects and kind of give a little more of that Sin City, like Noir type of look, which is what I was going for with my game, then you can go ahead and select any of the objects you want, and you can select that, set that custom depth stencil value there, if I can talk, to 1. Then you'll notice it has a full color. Now you can do that with anything. For example, you can select this tree, and I could do the exact same thing. I can go down here and I could set the value to 1, and now we have a colored tree, and you could select any of the objects here and do that exact same thing and give them color or make them black and white. Now another thing you can do is if you open up this instance, you'll notice we have color strength. I set that as a parameter that you can scale. So 1 is the default, and that's just the full color strength, whatever the color is of that asset, that's what it's going to be. But if you want it to be a little bit more desaturated, you can change that and change the strength there of the color. You can go to the negative, do whatever you want. So we'll set that to 1 though, it's just the default. So if this interests you, I'll have the link in the description where you can pick this up. But let me show you how to set it up. So if you were to pick this up, you are going to, none of these assets or anything like that comes with this. It's just the shader. And it is a post-process volume. And I'm going to delete this post-process volume that we have here. Oh yeah, and this is what the scene looks like by default. So without the shader at all, this is the scene. So it's a very colorful. I actually wanted to make something specifically really colorful just to show you kind of the difference. So this is the scene by default. Now, first thing that you want to do after you pick this up and you have the black and white shader folder there is you want to go to Edit up at the top, go to Project Settings, and you're going to type in Stencil. And then you'll see where it says Custom Depth Stencil Pass. By default, that's going to be enabled. You just want to change it to enabled with stencil. Then X out of that. Now we're going to add the post-process volume. So you're just going to click up here at the top. Oh, I almost forgot to stop simulating my project. So there you go. So you're just going to go up here to the top. We're going to select post-process volume, this one right here. Now, by default, it'll just be named post-process volume. I already have another one, so this was just 2. Now you can just leave it named that. I like to rename it though to make it easier. So we're going to go to Edit and Rename. Name it Black White Shader underscore PPV for post-process volume. And that just makes it easier for me to find. So now with that selected, we're going to kind of move this out of the way a little bit. Then we actually wanted to cover the whole scene, not just what's in the box. So we're going to type in INFI inside the details here. And we're going to check this box to extend it. Then And that what that does makes so it covers your whole scene. And then we're going to go into the search box and type in MAT for material. And under array, we're going to click plus. We're going to click asset reference. And we're going to select our instance. And select the arrow to use it. And boom, there you go. Now it's applied and your whole scene is black and white. Now, one thing I want to show you here, one limitation of this shader is that if you notice, we have a particle, we have like fire here, and we have another thing up here that is a translucent material, which is the planet. So particles are rendered at a different stage of the rendering pipeline compared to meshes, which is what we have. Everything else here is a mesh, which complicates their interaction with post-processing materials. So specifically the custom stencil buffers, they only work with opaque geometry, not with particles and translucent materials. So what that means is that if I were to select like this fire, for example, this fire is a particle. If I were to select this and I set the stencil to 1 instead of 0, it's not going to change. It's going to stay black and white. Same with the moon, because the moon is a translucent material. And so even if I set that stencil to 1, it's going to stay black and white. Now, all these other objects I can select and I can make colored. However, specific objects like particles and translucent are going to stay black and white. Now, I do have a workaround for that, where if you open up this shader here, while we're right here, I just want to show you, I notated everything. So if you want to make any changes, you'll know how all this works and you can change it to your heart's content. But if we go into here, and you'll see we have the blendable location, and it says scene color after tone mapping. So that's what it's going to be at default, and that's what I'd recommend leaving on. But if you want color on your particles, you can change this to scene color after DOF. Click apply, save, and you'll notice there that now the fire and that translucent material both are colored there. Now, the limitation of this is that it's not going to be like you can't individually select just a few particles and make those colored. You can't select, it's going to be everything. Like everything in your scene that is a particle is now going to have color with that setting. Now, everything else you can still select individually and change or leave them black and white. But all your particles and all of your translucent materials will be colored if you have that setting on. I recommend just leaving it on scene color after tone mapping, as that is what I have tested on. I haven't really done much testing with scene color after DOF, as that's not what I set it up for. So, no promises on everything working perfectly there. I have tested it under scene color after tone mapping. That's what I programmed it for. But I wanted to show you that just in case that is something that you ran across that you wanted to do. That is a workaround of a way that you can do that. That's it. That's my shader I wanted to show you. As I've said several times, this is going to be up on Fab for just a few dollars. I'm just getting my market started, so I really appreciate your support. I really want to start trying to make more videos. I want to make some tutorial videos. So if there's something that interests you that you'd like a tutorial video on for Unreal Engine, let me know. Put it in the comment section and I'll get to that. Also, if there's something that you want custom made, like if there's something for your game that you really want made, a specific shader or anything like that, let me know. Put that in the comment section as well. And if it's something I can do, I'll make it and put it up on the marketplace and shoot you a message letting you know I made it. So if you have any questions, just let me know. Have a good day. Thanks.